Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. As you guys can tell from the title, today we're doing a guide video for you new players or players that already have experience into the game and just want some more tips and tricks, right? So for a new player, first things first, when you start out, before you join the game, right, I want you guys to uh join the group. Oh yeah, you find it down here. So okay, this is for the app. Just click on developer, and then I want you guys to join the group, right? And then you're gonna wanna like the game, but you won't be able to do it now because Roblox won't let you until you enter the game. So I want you to enter the game, and then you like it. So this is very important for the next step. So once you join the game, you'll be greeted with this screen. This is gonna be a loading screen, right? So it does have some tips whenever you load into, like for example this one, executing player will give you bounty. So if you want a bounty, just execute players, then you want to click to continue, right? Now you see this down here at the bottom right, in loving memory of Akira Toriyama. Take note of that. Now you want to click edit character, so you'll be greeted with continue. So I think when you start off, when you first start off, you'll only have edit character, so you want to click edit character, right? So after you click edit character, it's gonna load into the character. I don't want to say creation screen because you're not really creating, but it in a sense it is a character creation. Now down here you have codes. These codes, you'll only be able to enter the codes after you like the game and join the group, so that's why it's very important to do so. Just saving you some steps. So enter codes, then you're gonna want to join the game's Discord server, which is on the Roblox homepage, or you can the game's Roblox homepage, or it's gonna be down in the description of this video. Join the group, I mean the Discord server, right? And you'll find codes there in the announcements channel. So just keep on scrolling up and use every code. Now after you use every code, before you spin, let me just close this, before you spin for your race, right, there's a lot of these races in the game and a lot of them do a whole lot of different stuff. So before you start spinning, right, I just want to put out there that these races are not bad. There isn't a bad race, there isn't a meta race. There is a race that has, yes, different higher stat buffs compared to others, but that doesn't mean the others are bad, or that doesn't mean that one is also good, because you can get these buffs at different stages into the game. So what I want you to do is, when you get to this point, before you start deciding or on a race or asking around, oh, what's the best race, asking stupid questions like that, go to the Trello, right, the game's Trello, which you will find in the Discord server. There's a whole channel for it. You just have to verify to see everything. If you can't see announcements, everything, just verify in the Discord server, right? After you verify, that's when you should be able to see all the channels. So go to Trello, go inside the Trello, go to the races, and look at every race and decide for yourself which race you like the most. But also just know that the races that have transformations that are more end game, that doesn't mean the race is bad for you currently or anything. Yes, it will be a bit harder for you to progress when you're starting off, since the race specific transformations are end game, but there is universal transformations in the game which every race can get, and they are all obtainable pretty early in the game. In fact, the first ever form you can obtain is a universal transformation. Yes, it is the weakest form, or not really, but it is a weak form in the game in terms of transformations, but it's still very early on in the game, and there's even two others on top of that that you can obtain pretty early on in the game that are actually good and way better. So there is universal transformations. So just go over what you like and pick the best one that you want for now. Though I also do want to say that the forms, not the forms per se, you are not limited to whatever race that you pick. You can always come back and change your race whenever you want to. You do not lose anything when you change your race. So whatever you own, you keep. All you do is just change the race, so giving you more transformations and stuff. So these are all the current races in the game. There is other dev only races, but you'll find more of those when you join the Discord server and actually contact the owner of the game to actually find out how to obtain those races. So after, then you're gonna spin for your race. Now, for starting out, people, people do say that the Namekian race is a very good race, and the freezer race is a good race to progress early on, since you can get their forms super early on in the game. You can get their forms pretty early on in the game. The Saiyan race isn't also bad to start off with, but Namekian and the Acrosian race, the freezer race, yeah, a lot of people suggest starting off with those, since their funds are super obtainable early on in the game. And then you want to click the next button. Next, you have your traits. So there's a lot of traits in this game, but if you're starting out, then I would recommend that you get the legendary trait, the densetsu trait. If you get beast or primer, you can also keep those, since those are also very good, but I recommend either legendary or densetsu. That's for when you're starting out, early on in the game, since these densetsu and legendary, they give you a damage buff. I think, if I'm not mistaken, legendary gives you a 2 times damage buff, and a densetsu gives you a 4 times damage buff, which is very good for NPCs. I currently have legendary. I've been trying to get the godly traits, which you won't see here, but it's a divide. It's a 0.01% trait. It's pretty hard to get, and I've wasted over 500 spins trying to get it. You guys have seen from the previous videos. Afterwards, you want to click next. So here is your roll for your key color. This is all purely cosmetic, but the mythical key color is said to give you a faster key charge, but then again, it's just purely cosmetic. Get whatever you want. I do have a mythical myself, which is black. And when you click next, this is where you actually now start editing the way your character looks physically. So you come here and you just edit them physically from this. Once you're done, then you want to click finish. Now, as you can see here, body type is grayed out for me, so depending on your race, you either will have this grayed out, or you'll be able to change the body type. So some stuff would be, it all depends on your race. So this appearance, yeah, mostly based on your race. So once you're done, you're gonna want to click finish. When you click finish, you'll be teleported into the actual main game. So I'll see you guys in the main game. Alright, so now we're back in game. Now in game, you're gonna start off, you're gonna spawn in this area right where I'm in, right here. So talk to this NPC. These are like the tutorial NPC, so talk to them. He'll give you a specific rundown of what he'd want you to do. So he'd tell you to go to TN. Right, so before you go there, I do want to say that first, you want to get yourself familiarized with the game's controls. Right, so if you look into the Trello, I will also show the images on the screen of the controls for both PC and console, so for PlayStation and Xbox. So you want to familiarize yourself with the controls, right? I don't know the console controls, but I will put an image on them so you can pause the video and look at them, or go to the Trello and just look at them from there. Right, so you're gonna start off in this little area here. After you look at the controls, I want you to press M. So M is to open up the menu, so I want you to open up the menu depending on what you're on, but on PC it's M. So you click M. The first page you're gonna see is gonna be this. This is under the books tab, so if you click books, you will see this. Now you won't have these books that I have here. You'll have nothing. Your meditation will not be what it is here for me, and you will have your purchase books will not be 0 as it is for me, right? And you will not have any of these. So let's first go over any of this. So the very bottom, the red, that is your event tokens. Now you get these from loot capsules, which you will get from killing certain bosses and certain bosses actually, and some NPCs. Certain NPCs, they will drop loot capsules. you open loot capsules and you can get event tokens from loot capsules. On top of that, the silver stuff, these are your Z tokens. Now, the Z tokens, these can be obtained from killing NPCs. There's a there's a chance for them to drop, a small chance for them to drop from killing NPCs. You can also get these from loot capsules, and you can get these from the new card system from card battling, getting duplicate cards and selling and all the stuff about cards. We'll go over cards once in a different video, but you can also get these from the card system, the card battling. On top of that, we have Zeni, the gold stuff. That's your Zeni, your money in this game. This Zeni, this currency, you can get it from killing NPCs in this game. Right. So killing NPCs in this game drops Zeni. Every NPC drops a different amount of Zeni depending on the NPC you kill, or the boss you kill, or the raid boss you kill. They all drop Zeni. As for how much they drop varies depending on the NPCs and your books, which we'll get into that later after this. So on top of that, you have something called your locked knowledge, also known as LK. This before we go there, your Zeni, you can also get Zeni from loot capsules. Can you get a small amount from loot capsules? Right. So on top of that, you have something called your LK, which is locked knowledge. Right. This locked knowledge you get when you kill NPCs. So any NPC kills will give you luck knowledge. The same as any, it varies depending on the NPC boss or raid boss that you kill. But each and every NPC will give you a LK when you kill it, right? And then on top of that, you have something called knowledge power, I think, also known as KP, right? To get this, you need to meditate. So when you meditate, right, it converts your LK, your lock knowledge, which is the blue stuff. When you meditate, it converts it into the purple stuff, which is knowledge. So that's how you get knowledge, by meditating. So it converts all your LK into knowledge, right? And then you use this knowledge to purchase books, and not only that, to upgrade books, it needs normal knowledge to upgrade your books. Now, when you start off, you won't have as much as I have. If you use codes, you will have a few. See, oh yeah, another thing, you can also get these Z tokens from codes, my bad. And you can also get some LK from codes as well. There is a code, I don't know if it's expired by the time of recording this video, but there is a code in the game that also gives you some LK when you're starting off. So yeah, it's a very useful to actually use the codes. And so you will have a few of these, some of these currencies from the codes. So what I want you to do when you're starting off, right, you wanna meditate. So when you meditating, what it does is that it resets your power level. It takes it down to, so when you join the game, your power level won't be as high as mine. Obviously yours is gonna be like 24, I think, right? So it's gonna be like 24, and then your strength and durability is gonna show 0, but it's gonna show 0 for a while, actually, even after you start training it. But in the background, it's like, it's not 0, it's like 0 point something, and then later on it will go up to 1. So my bad, excuse me about that. So yeah, so you're starting off, you want to meditate, and you meditate, and then you can buy your first book. So when you click purchase book, your first book that you're gonna get is gonna be this book of growth. Do not, and I repeat, do not sell this book. No matter what you do, never sell this book. This book is your bread and butter. Never sell this book. You're going to need it. So the first book you will get is book of growth. It is guaranteed. Now, what you're gonna want to do with the book of growth is that you can level it up. So how you level it up, you can level it up in 2 ways. So you can use your LK, I mean not your LK, your knowledge, to level it up, or you can use a capsule, which is a knowledge capsule. So if you have 5 knowledge capsules, you can level it up. You get 10 levels from knowledge capsules. And then there is different tiers of knowledge capsules, which we will get into those later on. So now when you're upgrading, next to upgrade, you can see these little numbers, say +1, +5, +10, +50. These are +50, and then +100. right? So if you hit +1, it's gonna upgrade. It's gonna give you 1 level whenever you click upgrade. So if you go to +5 and you click, if you click on +5, then you go to upgrade. When you press upgrade, it's gonna I'll level up your book by 5 levels. So this is how you can level up your book in bulks without having to click upgrade like 50 times. You can just click the +50 and click upgrade once to get 50 levels added on top of this, right? And another thing you can do is, say you want to upgrade your book 1,000 times, so you can click the +100 more than once. So you see, as I click it, the cost is going up. So this is so if I click it 10 times, right? I don't know if that's 10, I was not counting, but if I click it 10 times, it's gonna show me the cost to upgrade this book 1,000 levels, right? So if I click it 10 times, that I'm giving it 1,000 levels. But what I do want to put it out there is that do not use this method of clicking the +100 a lot of times to get more levels from just one upgrade. Yes, it is efficient because see, okay, let me show you something. So if you see this book, right, and we go to +100, this is how much it costs for 1 +100, right? This is how much my book of growth costs for 1 +100. Now if I click this a few times, see, it went up, but it also goes up for every other book. See, it goes up for every other book. So if you click 1,000, put 1,000 levels on one book. If you want to put 1,000 levels on all your book, just have to go to one book, click this 10 times. That's gonna be 1,000 levels, and then you can just click upgrade for this book, go to the next one, click upgrade, go to the next one, click upgrade. Now yes, that is time efficient, but it's not cost efficient, because if you click upgrade here, your cost goes up by a lot, right? And if you manually just click upgrade 10 times, it's actually way cheaper to do that instead of clicking it like this, because of how the math has been calculated so far. I don't have confirmation if it has changed or not. If it has changed, I will come back and correct myself, but for now, avoid making this mistake. So if you want to do 1,000 levels, just click on the +100 once and then click upgrade 10 times instead of clicking the +100 10 times and then clicking upgrade once. Yes, it's not cost efficient because you have to do that for every other book. You have to click upgrade 10 times for every other book. It's not time efficient, but it is very cost efficient. So just beware. As I said, I will correct myself if that has changed. But for now, this is a quick little tip that you guys can use to save more knowledge and not waste your knowledge like I did before we found out that you can do this. Right now, you will see after you get your first book, your cost for purchasing a book will increase. Now the cost for purchasing a book scales with how many books you have. So the more books you have, the more expensive your cost is to purchase another book, and the max amount of books you can have is 15. So what I would do is I would also recommend you to look at the Trello and see every book that the game has and decide for yourself what type of build you want to go for. But before you do that, the next 2 books that are a must have immediately after Book of Growth is the Book of Pain and the Book of Gallic Punches. When you're starting off, these 2 books are very important. It doesn't matter which order you get them next after Book of Growth, but just have these 2 first before you focus on getting every other book. Before you focus on those, these 2 are a must have. They are a must have. So what you want to do is that whenever you purchase a book and it's not the book that you need, since you're starting off, to keep your cost for purchasing books low, sell every book that you get that is not Book of Pain and Book of Gallic Punches until you have those books. So once you have 3 books in your inventory, the Book of Growth, the Book of Pain, the Book of Gallic Punches, that's when I recommend you to start focusing on getting other books if you want the most optimal and fastest, most efficient way of progressing fast early on. Right, to do that for yourself. So afterwards, the few books that I would want to just give an honorary mention is the Book of Holy Knowledge. This is very good for gaining more LK. Book of Failures, also very good for LK. The Book of Low Wages, very good for getting Zeni. And Book of Interest, very, very, very good for getting Zeni. I do want to give a quick shout out to the Book of Getting Old as well, very good for getting HP as well. Book of Space and Time, I do want to shout this out, very good for getting AXP as well in the time chamber. But we will go over books more in depth in another video for other different type of books that you can get, right? But your books are gonna be your bread and butter. So books is how you get stronger in the game, which but also before you can make your book strong, you need LK, which you get from killing NPCs, right? So now that we have gotten over the general basics of what you need, so this is what you do. So you get LK, meditate, upgrade books or purchase books, and you, in a sense, rinse and repeat, right? Now when you meditate, meditating does not reset your books. All it resets is your power, your Zeni, and it converts your LK into knowledge. That's all it resets, nothing else. You still keep everything else. All it resets is your power, so your durability, your strength will be go down to 0, your power will be down to 24, Zeni will be 0, your LK will be converted into knowledge, and you get all your, how the fuck did I combat log? But okay, you get all your lives back, all your lives back. So you see this L right here, right, where, and then there's an 8 next to it. So these are your lives. You start off with 10 lives. When you meditate, you get all your lives back. So now when you lose all your lives, you're gonna get wiped. So by wiping doesn't mean you lose all your data. No. What it means that you get sent to the other world, right? So, but important thing to notice that when you wipe, you get sent to the other world, you do lose your power, you do lose your Zeni and your LK. So it's in a sense kind of like meditating, right? It's almost like meditating, but this time you don't get the benefits of your LK being converted into knowledge. You just lose it entirely. So that's the consequences for getting wiped. So if you wanna wipe, because there is you will at some point, depending on your race, but at some point you are gonna want to go to other worlds to do some stuff there. So before you wipe, I do suggest that you meditate so that you can convert your LK into knowledge, because your knowledge does not get reset, the knowledge does not get touched when you meditate or wipe. So to save and not lose your progress, which is basically your LK, you are gonna want to meditate before going to heaven and wiping. Alright, so that's the general direction of the books. Now when you start off, you will not have flight. Flight is something you won't have, so you're gonna have to go to TN. Oh, by the way, if you see this is a shadow which you can spawn by pressing Q. So you see I press Q and I spawn mine, and you can press Q again to despawn it. It does have a bit of a cooldown, but you can press Q again to despawn it. See mine, it despawns. So if you spawn your shadow, you can press Q to despawning. Now having a shadow is another way for you to train, so you can like just attack it and then you'll gain some stats from it. Alright, so if you take this path up, so from the spawn going towards between southeast and south, taking this path, if you follow it all the way, it should take you to TN, right? But before you go to TN, here's a tip that I would suggest, because when you get to TN, he's gonna want you to, there's a few stuff that you're gonna want to buy from TN. So let me show you guys real quick. Let me go to TN and show you guys. I'll see you when I'm there. Alright, so now I'm here by TN. As you see, I followed this path, so just keep on walking on this path and eventually you will reach TN. So when you get to TN, he's the trainer here, and then there's gonna be a spawn point so you can set your spawn. But this okay, I'm getting a bit carried away, but I forget that when you're starting off you already have these features. So when you get to TN, this is the trainer. So when you talk to him, he's gonna tell you about learning the basics of key and all of that. So this is where you learn the basics of key, right? And then he tells you to visit Master Roshi afterwards. So if you click open shop, these are the skills that he sells. So he sells image training for 750, which when you're starting off, you don't really need to get this. So you can leave this for now. You don't really need to get this. Then there's 10 kg weights. Now there is a weight guide on the Trello, but I will say for the 10 kg weights, you need to buy these twice, but you can only have one in your inventory at a time. So you buy this once, and how you use it is after you buy it, they will be on your inventory, right? So you click M, go to inventory, locate where it is. So if you have more, so when you start off, you have nothing or a scouter, it's gonna be like the last thing added on. So it's always, so whenever you get a new item, it's always gonna be like the last thing added onto it. Only after you like close it and open up will it get reorganized according to how the game organizes its stuff. So it's gonna be the last thing that you have. You're gonna click it on your inventory, right? It's gonna say equip. There's gonna be a equip button. You click equip, then it's gonna highlight your hotbar orange, and then you're gonna click whatever open spot where you wanna equip it on, and then you wanna click on that spot and you wanna use it, right? So just M1 to use it, to equip them actually on your body. And then what you wanna do is you wanna punch the air until they disappear. So just keep on punching the air, right? And then at some points they will disappear. Now you will punch through. Do not fight NPCs with your weight equipped, as they will break. And I don't know if you get the XP from it, but the game description says punch the air, and that is how you can get the actual EXP from the weight. So just punch the air until they disappear, and then you wanna do it again. So once they disappear, buy them again and equip them again. So for the 10 kg weights, that's the only one where you have to do it twice. Every other weight on top of that, you only have to use it once, and you can move on to the next weight. So the higher, the more heavier weights. Then when you click on open skills, so here in these skills, there's a few skills you're gonna want to get. Yes, you can get all the skills, which is what I did, and I will show you an effective way of actually grinding out the Zeni to actually get all these skills. But the must-have skills, you're gonna want flight, right, which is free, so you can just come and purchase it, and then you'll be able to fly. To fly, if it's on the controls, you guys will have seen on the controls, but you just have to press the X key on console. I don't really know what key it is, but it's on the controls on the Trello. You're gonna wanna purchase key restore. This gives you the ability to charge your key by holding C. You can charge your key, and then you're gonna want key sense, which gives you the ability to sense the key of players and NPCs. You're gonna want these are must-have. And then the next must-have you're gonna want is called sparring stance. This is a technique. It is very useful. This will allow you to train with other players that are stronger than you. So the most effective way to gain stats is by sparring with players. So now you can buy the other skills when you need to. I would recommend that you try and get everything that you can get in the game, but for now these 4 are must have, right? So ideally, right, what the game would want you to do is want to fight Tien, right? So you fight Tien, and then you would get Zeni and LK. Now Tien does not give much Zeni, right? So when you're starting off at the beginning, there is an NPC I will show you guys where you can get 75 Zeni per kill from this NPC, which you can do when you're starting off right now at the beginning with your 0 stats. Now if you guys have noticed, right, there is some TNs that have an aura, right? There's different auras, right? Okay, that's a shadow, but you see there's white auras. Now when an NPC spawns with an aura is like a multiplier, right? So an aura like this one, where it's a random color, so any random color aura, any NPC that has an aura, whatever color it is, that's a 2 times, right? That's a 2 times. So it's an aura that looks like this, but it's gonna have a random color, so it looks exactly like this, just whichever random color it is, that is a 2 times, right? And then if an NPC has a bright white aura with some electric effect like this one right here, So you do see it, there's also some blue electric effects on it, right? An aura like this, which is bright red, so it is bright red, so with higher graphics, and you will see that the electrical aura. So because the two times one can spawn with a white aura as well, but it's not gonna be as bright as this and won't have the electricity effect. So a bright white aura with electricity effects, that's a 10 times. So the NPC is 10 times stronger than the normal version. So but that also means that you get 10 times the LK and Zeni from said NPC. Obviously the 2 times means the NPC is 2 times stronger than the normal version, and you get 2 times the Zen NPC. Now there is a bright a dark red and black aura. I tried to spawn my shadow hoping it would spawn it one. So it's a dark red and black aura, right, where an NPC can spawn with. That is a 25x, so the NPC is 25 times stronger than the normal version, which obviously means 25 times the rewards. And then a blue and black aura NPC almost looks galaxy. So if you've seen like some galaxy skins of like Fortnite, for example, if you've seen a galaxy skin, you know how that blue looks and that black. So almost similar to that. That's a godly NPC. So that means it's 100 times stronger than the normal version. And then there's if you see an NPC with wings, right, so it's gonna have wings, and it's gonna be a pinkish aura. That's an ascended, that's 1,000 times stronger than the normal NPC, which means you get 1,000 times the rewards, right? Now I want to take you guys to the actual NPC that I want you guys to grind out for Zeni. So from TN you want to go back, follow the path, go back to the starter area, right? And then once you're at the starter area, so when you went southeast, right, to go to TN, but instead of going southeast, I want you guys to go northwest. So you're gonna follow this path, come here to where it ends, right? So by this point you should have flight since it's free. So I want you guys to start from TN and then fly over this side, and then you wanna fly. So after you've reached this point at the end of the path, you wanna take a quick a slight left, fly over this side, right, and then you should see an NPC wearing pink. This NPC right here, Mercenary Tau. So this NPC is considered a boss in the game, and if you kill it, this gives 75 Zenith per kill, and you will be able to kill it at a low level, right, with like low power level. So I want you to farm this NPC for Zeni. This is how you get the Zeni to buy everything from TN. Now additionally, what you can do, since now the game has something called quests, so before you start farming, so when you start off as you're going to TN, right, I want you to make a quick pit stop right here. I don't know why I didn't show you guys this earlier on. I wish I did before I took you guys to TN, but I want you to guys make a pit stop here, right? Open the quest screen, right? On this quest screen you're gonna have a few quests. Now the quest that I want you to do is Boss Breaker. I want you to accept this quest. Just click start quest. That's how you accept it. This you have to defeat 10 bosses, and it gives you 20k Zeni and 2.5k LK. This boss NPC, you may be thinking, oh, but I'm a low level, oh, what boss am I gonna fight? Mercenary Town. That's the boss you're gonna fight, which is a boss that you can kill right at the beginning of the game. When you start off, you're gonna kill Mercenary Town 10 times. And then another quest I want you to accept is this quest right here, which is TN's Shadow. So you just have to kill 3 of TN's Shadow. You will get 2.5k Zeni and 150 LK, and you'll get a title, which will give you some boosts as well, because it's a title. Now you can also accept this quest, right, for Zeni, and to kill 5 NPCs you can just kill TN 5 times. It will count for both this quest and this quest. Additionally, the Mercenary Town boss will also count for this quest as well. So I want you guys to do these 3 quests. This quest, the title is now currently unobtainable, so do not even bother asking about this quest. And this one, you can accept this quest as well, but don't expect yourself to complete it now. And also another thing, if you leave the game, this quest will get reset. So yeah, something to take into consideration, like quests will reset. So if you've started this quest but you didn't finish it and you left the game, it does not save. You have to restart, so redo all over, re-accept the quest. Additionally, leaving the game and rejoining also does reset quests that you have completed. So you can keep on. So you can do the quest, leave the game, rejoin, take the quest again, complete it, you know. So that's another way to farm efficient, right? So once you have everything, go back to Tien, buy everything you can, max out your weights from him. Right now, after you do that from Tien, Tien himself said that, you know, you can go to Master Roshi, which you can go to Master Roshi, but at that point, once you have sparring stance, what I recommend that you do is that you can either do one of two things, right? You can go to Master Roshi and grind there for more LK, more Zeni, and you can just upgrade your books, or you can find a spar op or find a player to spar with. So if you check, there is players playing the game, there's quite a lot of players. You can just go into the chat and ask for a player to spar with you for a few, or you can find some others. So there's usually other new players as well around here. You can spar with them, ask them to spar with for a few. You don't have to spar for like a long time, just for a few. You'd see at some point your strength and durability is gonna go from 0 to 1 or even above that, right? So you can use the skills from Tien, which is called toughen and strengthen, to increase your gains for both your durability and strength. Tier under skills, the toughen and strengthen, that which do increase your multipliers for your EXP. So you can use those skills as well to increase your gain. So you wanna spar for as long as you can, and depending on how long you spar for, your power. So when you in sparring stance, right? So let me use it. So okay, so my sparring stance is currently on the hotbar. Yours, when you first buy it, you need to put it on your hotbar and use it, right? But you won't be able to turn it off, since you can't turn it off if it's on your hotbar. To turn it off, you need to hold T. This is your transformation screen. This is where you find your techniques and transformations. Yes, there is some skills over here like Big Bang Attack and Break Strike and all that stuff, but I don't know. I don't think the skills are supposed to be here, but they are here, and they've been here for a while, so let's not question it. But you will find sparring stance here, so this is where you turn it off. You have to click it. But for you, when you press and hold T, your sparring stance will not be there. So some new abilities that you obtain that don't show up here, you just have to rejoin, and then they're gonna show up here. Just rejoin the game, right? So you put it on your hotbar, you click it, you use it. Okay, so this, do not be scared or shaken by this. This is a cutscene that plays whenever a raid boss spawns. So if you are close to the spawn of the raid boss, you will see the cutscene. If you are far from the spawn, you won't see the cutscene, right? So Goku does spawn a bit close from here, it spawns a bit further back, right? I'll tell you guys about the markers that you just seen right now. So if you take a look, my power level is 24, right? So your power level will be 24 as well when you use sparring stats. So with my power level at 24, even though my stats, my durability and strength are in the trillions, I can fight a new player, someone with 0 stats, without being able to kill them. So you won't get killed. You will get hit, obviously you will get put in combat, but your HP will not go down. My HP will also not go down, and you will be able to hit me. So another thing that I want to point out in this game is that if you are 10 times stronger than an NPC, so I'm gonna hit this Tien right here, right? So with sparring stance, obviously he can hit me, I can't kill him, right? But he also can't kill me because my stats are so high. If I turn off sparring stance, right, see how he can't hit me? That's because I am 10 times stronger than him. so he can't do anything to me, he can't damage me, he can't do nothing, right? The same applies for players. If a player is 10 times stronger than you, you won't be able to hit them or damage them or do anything to them, vice versa, right? So you see there's another player over there, so you see there's always players around, right? So yeah, to be able to spar with a player who is a billion times stronger than you, that's sparring stance, where you'll be able to hit each other and gain stats from it, right? Which will help you. Another thing to know is that if you are 10 times stronger than an NPC, you also don't get any rewards from killing it. So if you want to get rewards from killing an NPC that you are more than 10 times stronger than, all you have to do is use your sparring stance and then kill it, and that's how you get rewards. So you see, after I kill my sparring stance, that's where I get the Zany and LK. So that's how you get rewards from it if you are 10 times stronger than an NPC sparring stance. Right, now you see this text here at the bottom where it says hello hello. So don't be shaken by those quests. These texts at the bottom, they will show up whenever a raid boss is 10 minutes from spawning in. So it will also tell you which type of boss it is that's spawning in, so that you know that, okay, now I have 10 minutes before said raid boss spawns. Every raid boss has its own time. Speak of the devil, here's right here, see this aura? You guys probably don't see it clearly because my graphics are turned down, but if you were to turn them higher, so this is a red and black, so it's a dark red with some black effects on it. This is a monstrous, this is the 25x, which gives you 25x the rewards, which I am going to kill and take for myself, because yeah, the gains, bro, it's the gains. As I said, I will explain books in another video and why I still benefit from a TN, though it is very weak. I still benefit from killing a 25x from it, and a 10x from it, or whatever, because of books, which I will explain in another video, right? Now, depending on, so if you spar with a player, right, depending on how much you gain, if you gain like a lot, depending on how long you sparred, I want you to skip going to Master Roshi, at least for now, and I want you to head over to Reddit, right? And I want you to farm Reddit. Now, there is some NPCs in this game that do not grip you after they kill you. Radix is one of them. So Radix has a power level of, so yeah, as I was saying, Radix has a power level of 1.7 thousand. Right, to take no damage from him, you have to be 10 times stronger than him, which is 17,000. But he does not grip, so it is okay to die from him. You will not lose a life, and not to mention that there is freshie protection, which means I think when you have low, either 400,000 or 400, yeah, I don't know, either 400,000 or 400 power level, one of the two. But if you have below that, you do not lose lives if you get grip. That's the freshie protection, that's the loot protection. So this game does have a freshie protection, but I want you to farm Reddit. Now, if you are here at TN, right, you are going to want to fly. You want to fly between east and southeast, so right over there. You want to fly towards that general direction, right? Now, see how I have these markers now on my screen that highlights the NPCs, and there's this purple exclamation mark, there's this red exclamation, there's yellow exclamation mark. Guys were probably asking yourself, what the hell is all this? So this is the key sense, right, that is in this game. So there's two ways to see the key sense. So if you bought from TN key sense, you press N, right, this is you will see these markers. So the purple marker, these are spawn points. I mean, these are like spawn points that you can set for yourself. These are respawn points, right? They are located all around the map. The yellow marker, these are trainers. So there is one also right here by this TN. I think it's a, I don't, yeah, oh yeah, here it is right there. So this one right here for this TN. So The yellows are trainers. So this is, if you go to them, there's an NPC there that you can buy stuff from them. So these are trainers, right? And the red markers, these are raid boss spawn locations. So if you go to a red marker, either you will find a raid boss there, or there will not be a raid boss, but that means one is gonna spawn in 10 minutes or less than 10 minutes, depending on how long that red marker has been there. So just wait there for a while, and then you'll be hit with a cutscene when the raid boss spawns. Right, so that's what happens if you press N. That's how you see these markers. Now alternatively, if you have a scouter, right, in your inventory, the same way you did with the weight, from your inventory, click on it, click equip, put it on your hotbar, and then when it's on your hotbar, click on wherever it is. Let's say it's at number 3. You're gonna wanna click it, and then your character is gonna put it on their face. Once it's on their face, you wanna press on your number pad, you wanna press the 0, right, and then it's gonna turn the scouter on. So you see now it's on. It has all these yellow markings on it, and then if you look on this side, you will see the actual controls for the scouter. So if you press O again, it turns it off. Press O again, press 0 again, it turns it back on. Now if you press Y, it says scouts NPCs. So I click on, and this is how I can see these markers. And not only that, if you have a scouter, it also highlights the actual NPCs themselves. So, and you can see it has quite a good range on it too. So as I can see NPCs from all the way over there. That's how I know there's NPCs that far. So yeah, it has a good range to it as well. So that's for the scouter. You can also scout players and scout players power levels with this scouter. To get the scouter, you either have to be a Saiyan or a Tafel or a Frieza. These races, they spawn with a scouter. If you end up being any other race that doesn't have a scouter, you can buy a scouter from the shard shop for 10,000, from not the shard shop, the space shop, for 10,000 event tokens, which is the red one. But here's my tip now for getting a scouter quickly, fast and easy. If you are spinning your race, right, and you have a good amount of spins, right, before you go for, let's say even your ideal race is like a rare race or anything, if you end up getting Saiyan, Frieza or Tafel before you get your ideal race, I want you guys to click to not stop spinning when you have that, right, and then just go over to the next page, just click finish, right, just spawn into the main game with one of those 3 races, and then you'll have the scouter in your inventory, right. You can equip it, you can use it, whatever, but as long as it's there, click finish, load into the game with the scouter in your inventory and everything. From that point onwards, then you can use it, just use it, also use it, put it on your hotbar and use it and stuff. Then you can leave the game, re-enter the game, go back to edit character, then roll off it. Because remember what I said, whatever you have, you do not lose whenever you change the race. That includes the scouter. That's how you can get a scouter for free without having to buy it. Just spawn in as a race that has a scouter. You will keep it when you roll off to a different race that doesn't spawn in with a scouter. That's just some little tips and tricks for you guys, yeah. But yeah, afterwards I want you to fly over towards Radix. That's if you did the method of sparring, right? You didn't go to Master Roshi. Fly over to Radix over here, right, and then okay, so he does have an aura right now, but you're gonna wanna lock onto him by pressing L, right? So when you lock onto him, oh yeah, this is something I should have explained right at the beginning. So when you lock onto an NPC, you will see their HP bar, and you will see at the bottom their HP bar where it says effort. Effort is your credit, right? You need 10% to actually get credit from the NPC. So you see right now it went up to 100 because I one tapped him, right? So it instantly gave me 100 effort. But if there's someone else farming said NPC with you, oh here's a 10x. If there's someone else farming the NPC with you, right, what you can do is that get your 10% and then you can back out, let the other guy get their 10%, and then whoever kills it, does not matter, you will get the rewards from it as long as you have 10% effort. So this applies to every NPC in the game. You need your 10% effort to get credit from it. If you are 10 times stronger than the NPC, you still need your 10% effort to be able to get the rewards from it once you go into your sparring stance before said NPC is killed. Now, you don't always have to grip the NPC to kill it. Another thing, you can just kill it, down it here, and you can just leave it. Right after a minute, the NPC will despawn. When it despawns, whoever has 10% credit will get the reward still. So you don't have to grip it, you can just kill it and leave it there. But you see how I'm just leaving it like this after I killed it? This is what Radix will do to you after he kills you. He will just leave you like this, right? So if he downs you, that's fine. He won't grip you, you won't lose anything. All you have to do is just wait for a few seconds. You will get back up, regen your HP, and then just keep on hitting him again. And if you have a friend, ideally what you can do after you get your 10%, right, you can get your friend to kill him. If you don't, just keep on dying to him and get back up and kill him and kill him and kill him, and then you will get a lot of LK from this guy. Right? But then again, it also depends on, see how he just died here. So you see after a minute he dies and then he's gonna respawn. So at that point I would have gotten rewards if I was in my sparring stance, since I am 10 times stronger than this guy. So ideally you wanna have grinded enough power to actually, you know, beat this guy. You get a lot of LK from it. Then before you meditate, so if you farm Radix, before you meditate, right, I want you to now, like, because you'll get some Zeni as well. So before you meditate and lose that Zeni, that's when we're gonna go over to Master Roshi, right? So from Tien, if you wanna go to Master Roshi, let me look around. So Tien is about that direction over there. Master Roshi is from, yeah, so from Radix, right, you see there's purple marker and yellow marker right in front of you, right in front, like this one right here. You want to fly straight there. That is where Master Roshi is. So you want to fly north from Radix, right? And I'll show you the direction to fly from Tien. Alright, so here we are at Tien. From Tien, you want to fly between north and northeast. There's that marker right there. Remember, you can press N to show these exclamation marks. If you have a scouter, put it on and turn on scouting PCs to see these exclamation marks. So you want to fly straight over there. So I'll see you guys at Master Roshi. Alright, so once you arrive at Master Roshi, if you skipped the sparring method, so if you did not find a player to spar with, couldn't get someone to spar with, right, you're gonna wanna search your spawn points here, and then you're gonna wanna farm these Master Roshis, these shadows, for some LK and Zeni. You wanna come talk to Master Roshi over here, and you're gonna want to buy. So I'll show you what to buy. So if you click open shop, he sells pretty much almost the same thing as Tien, but now he sells orange key and a hermit key. Now orange key is just purely cosmetic. This one does not give you any additional stat buffs. You can buy it if you want to, up to you. Hermit key does give cosmetic, I mean not cosmetic, it does give stats, gives 5% durability, but this can only be won by humans, and it costs 95 million Zeni, which you will not have at the time of at this stage, at this point in time. But you want to come to view skills, right? So the important skills that you're gonna want is key, oh no, not key sense, you're gonna want power increase and power decrease. These two are more important skills. So what power increase does is that, so let's see, I'm gonna try to showcase it, right? Let me turn off Kaioken real quick. So when you say you have the same power level as me, right, which is This is my 100% power level. So without power increase, your power level will be lower than this. Will probably be around here somewhere, right? And say so this is like 70% of your power level. Once you buy power increase, if you click and hold C and you charge, once your key is full, your power level will start going up after a few. So when there's the burst mode, see how your power level is going up. So when your power level goes up, so actually I was not at my max, so this is my max. So you see how my power level was 80 something trillion, 88 trillion. Now it's this is my max. So when it was at 88 trillion, that was me using 70% of my power level. So when you charge and then the second charge happens, so the burst charge, that's when your power level is gonna increase to you using 100% of it. This is very important because this could be the difference between you not being strong enough to take no damage from an NPC or not. Because you might think that, oh wait, say an NPC, to take no damage from it you need 10,000 power level and your power level like 70,000. You might think that, oh wait, I can't fight this NPC without taking any damage from it. Little do you know is that you just not using 100% of your power. So power increase will help you take your power level up to 100%, and then power decrease lets you take your power level down, just like how I showcase. See what I'm doing now? It lets you take your power level down. I literally have no clue why a person would want to do this. I personally have no use for it. I've never decreased my power level down because decreasing it like this doesn't really do anything. It doesn't change much. Just use sparring stance. I tried to do this, decreasing my power level to get rewards from an NPC that I was 10 times stronger than. It literally did not work. Using sparring stance though worked. So I don't know why a person would want to do that, but power increase is a must-have. Power decrease, sure, you can buy it. You might have a use for it. I personally do not. Now there is skills just like TN that you can buy. Master Roshi does sell toughen and strengthen as well, but you can buy throw, you can buy energy ball. These are skills that you can use. Powered kick up, these are skills that you can use. Max power, this is a technique for humans only. It's a human exclusive technique. And then there's Kamehameha. You won't be able to afford this yet, and you need the power level, but I will say do come back for the skill. This is a very good skill. This skill does true damage, right? So you can literally one tap a raid boss with this skill. Now why is that important? Because a raid boss, your damage, the amount of damage you do, depending on which raid boss, either it can be capped to 7%, so per hit, not 7%, 1%. So per hit you're only doing 1% of the damage to your, like literally you're doing 1% damage to the boss. You're only taking away 1% of their HP per hit, right? Some bosses it's a 0.7%, so you're only taking 0.7% of their HP per hit. With true damage you can take 100% of their HP with just one skill, Kamehameha. There is other skills that do one tap raid bosses, but we'll get into those later on when I say later on, in a later video, when I either obtain said skill, because I don't know all the skills. As you can see, I'm not even super into the end game. I'm not end game yet. I'm like mid to end game, right? So I myself don't have everything, but I do know what I'm talking about some stuff. Not everything, but some stuff. So yeah, you wanna buy those from Master Roshi, right? Talking to Master Roshi, he does say something about Radix, right? Telling that you can defeat him, right? But before that, if you talk to Krillin over here, no, not Krillin, this guy, this is the tutorial NPC, right? Where he tell you a Saiyan will arrive, but first he will tell you to go to Piccolo after you train from Master Roshi, and that's where your next destination is going to be. Now if you did the sparring, right, you have skipped coming to Master Roshi, and you did skip going to Piccolo. You went straight to Radix and you started fighting him, which is good because he gives you a lot of LK. Right? It gives you a lot of LK and it gives you a lot of Zen. Now Piccolo is around, it's one of these arrows. I think it's this one over there, about between south and southwest. I think that's his, that mark over there, that's Piccolo's, right? So you want to fly straight there. Alternatively, if you have a scouter, so you see how at the bottom of the controls where it says number pad 1, 2 and 3, there's altitude, latitude and longitude. Alternatively, you can look at the Trello. The Trello does have the scouter locations for pretty much everything in the game, right? So just look there in the Trello, look for the Piccolo trainer, and then just find his coordinates, and then just use your scouter and fly over to him. So you can do that for a lot of the stuff in the game, right? But I'm pretty sure that Piccolo is that one over there. I will use a Kaioken to speed things up and go to him a bit faster. This is definitely Piccolo. Yep, Piccolo right here. So yeah, get to Piccolo, right? If you skipped the sparring that you're supposed to do after you are done with Tien, you can fight the Piccolo shadows over here to get some LK and Zeni. For those that fought Radix, you should have enough LK and Zeni to just come and buy the stuff. You don't really have to fight, so you just come buy the shop. Piccolo, he sells the same thing as Tien, but now he has purple key, which can be worn by humans and Namekians. Again, purely cosmetic, does not give any step buffs. So from here, you can get counter vanish, really, which is a pretty handy skill to have, right? Since you can evade some attacks that an NPC will throw at you, but really that's it. Now, if you want more additional LK and Zeni, you can farm Piccolo even if you did the Radix method. But yeah, actually, I think Piccolo gives more than Radix, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check. Okay, no, Piccolo does not give more than Radix. Radix still gives more since he is a boss, even though Radix is weaker than Piccolo. So which is also very important to just farm Radix, since he, first of all, he does not grip you, so you don't lose any lives from him, and you can just, he's a boss and he gives you like a lot of way more LK than Piccolo, so you can just keep on farming him for a while. So I would say you farm Radix. So from Piccolo, if you wanna go over to Radix, he is where is he located? Oh god damn it. Give me a minute, let me just look around here, try to figure out where he is located using his markers. So that's the hyperbolic time chain. Okay, I'll look. Okay, so my ass was blind. So from Piccolo, he's literally using my scouter. His NPC bubble was struck up right there. So you wanna fly between north and northeast, fly towards this purple marker over there, the purple and yellow marker, that purple marker, the yellow marker behind it. Fly towards there, but keep your flight a bit lower onto the ground, and then at some point you should see Radix and his crater right there, and yeah, just farm him, right? And then from Radix, now you want to move on to start farming actual bosses that will these bosses, they will grip you if you die from them, but you should be getting strong enough. So when you farm Radix, you farming Radix to get more LK really, and Zeni, but mainly you want the LK, right? Stack up a lot of LK, and then you're gonna want to meditate. After you meditate, you use that knowledge and upgrade your book of growth, your book of pain, your book of Gallic punches. Just know, if you meditate, your power will reset. Now when your power resets, you have to get it back up again. How do you get it back up? By either sparring with players, or you can fight your shadow. But just know, you can only fight your shadow up until a certain point. There is a soft cap that you will reach, and once you reach it, you will not gain anything from the shadow. You will only start gaining from players. So you'd have no choice but to start sparring with players. Now there is something called a spar op, which I mentioned earlier. So what a spar op is that it's players where they would sit in not a space pod but in a Namek ship, which I will try to find one. So you see, there'll be a Namek ship, right? So someone would have placed down a Namek ship, anyone can place it down, whichever one. And so in Earth there isn't really much spar ops happening. They mainly happen in Namek. So you would need to get your space pod, which you can buy from Balmer. Now I do want to point out that when you start off in the game, depending on your race, you will spawn at either Earth or Namek. So how a spar op is that people in a Namek ship, so you find a person sitting either here or here, right? A person will just sit down, and then there's gonna be players that are gonna lock onto this person. This person that's sitting down is going to be in their sparring stance. There's gonna be other players around, right, that are gonna be in their sparring stance as well, and they're just gonna be beating up this player that's sitting down, while this player sitting down is also gonna be, M1ing, right? It's also gonna be attacking. So that's a spar op. Now this is very effective to very efficient to gaining power, because the more players there is, the more you get hit. The more you get hit, the more stats you gain. So if, let's say, you're at a point where you gain 1 stat per hit, right? So if there's like 5 players hitting you, that's 5 stats per hit, even though you technically gain 1 stat per hit. So if you hit a player once, you gain 1, but if there's 5 players hitting you, because being hit also gains stats, so you don't always have to hit. Sometimes just being hit alone also gives you stats, right? So being hit by 5 players, that's the equivalent of you hitting a player 5 times, but 5 players are hitting you once at the same time, so technically you're getting 5 stats per hit instead of 1 stat per hit. I mean, you are still getting the 1 stat per hit, but since it's 5 players, it's now 5 stats per 5 stats per hit. I don't know if I'm making sense, but yeah, so it is efficient to do spar ops. Spar ops also help in form mastery, right? It helps you master your forms quicker. Now so what you want you to do is, after you farm relics and you're spar orbed, right, and you can get to a point where you can get 5k power level very easily. Once you get 5k power level, I want you to get 4k Zenny, right? After you get 4k Zenny, you want to fly over to the lookout. Now from wherever you are on Earth, right, when you click N or use the scouter, you see these 3 exclamation marks up there, the 2 yellow ones up there and that 1 purple one up there. From wherever you are on Earth, those ones will always be like the highest, and then just below that there's another yellow one over there. You want to fly all the way up there. Obviously, now depending on your flight speed, it might either be a quick flight or a slow flight, right? You want to fly all the way up there, right? And then you want to talk to an NPC. So I'm showing you this first before the weights, because you will get 5k power level and 4k Zen pretty easy on. And you want to click view skills here by Mr. Popo, right? Now Mr. Popo does sell some 2 important stuff. One of them is power spike, which you do need 600. Power spike is basically, remember I told you guys about when you charge your key and then your power level is gonna go up to the point where you use 100%. Power spike, instead of you having to hold C and charge, so one you can do, so I'm gonna decrease my power level, right? And then I'm gonna turn off Kaioken so you guys can actually see. So I'm gonna decrease my power level to about 88, like say 80 trillion or something. So whatever, no matter how low it is, right? See how low I've decreased. So if I click C and I just click K, boom, my power level shoots straight to 100. So instead of me having to hold C and waiting for the burst charge, power spike is just a faster way of reaching 100%. So you just have to hold C and then just click K, and then boom, Now another thing you wanna want is key burst. This is the first ever universal transformation which you can get pretty early on in the game. This gives you a 1.2x multiplier to your power. You will feel the difference, right? 1.2x sounds small, but you will feel the difference, right? And then from here, this is when I want you to go to capsule corporation, right? And this is where I want you to start grinding for your weights and for your space pod from this general direction, from this general area, right? So from Mr. Popo, you wanna go west. So you see when you go west, there's these markers over there. That's where Capsule Corporation is located. It's pretty far, and it will take you a while since you wouldn't have a good weight. But I want you to fly all the way over there, and you can actually start farming the the yanchas over there. Now, I did say after Redix that you will start farming NPCs that can kill you and bosses. Um, so after looking at it, I decided to like actually just stick with Radix for a while, you know, because at some point while you meditating and upgrading your books, you will be able to like just get 5k power level pretty easily, and 4k Zeni pretty easily. So yeah, I would say you'd go to Nappa and Vegeta, which look at the Trello for the location of those guys. You can either go to Nappa or Vegeta, or you can go to Goku and farm him, buy some stuff from Goku as well. It is important to go to every other trainer since they all sell some pretty useful stuff. But I'm just giving you just the what you need for now, right? So once you get here, you can set your spawn over there, and then if you look here, this is where yanchas are. So you can farm yanchas for Zeni and LK. Now, why it's important to be here is because if you go inside Capsule Corporation, let me turn off my Kaioken. If you go inside turn off Kaioken. If you go inside Capsule Corporation, you will find Balma in here. Now, when you talk to Balma and you open a shop, this is very important because Balma sells every weight you can obtain on Earth. And not only that, she sells the space pod which you're gonna need to go to Namek and other planets and go to space, right? The space pod is 12k. I do recommend you buy it, but before you go to Namek or any other planet, before you leave Earth, I do recommend at least getting up to 75 kg weights, right? 75 kg weights. Now, farming yancha alone won't get you this 60k Zeni pretty fast. I would say go to Vegeta, farm Vegeta instead. He will get you the 60k Zeni faster than yancha, but you can use yancha to get the 25 kg weights, maybe even the 50 kg weights. But for the 75, I say just go to Vegeta. And if by the point where you and by the point if oh my English, and at this point if you already have the three books I mentioned, Book of Pain, Book of Growth, and Book of Get Punches, you can get a Zeni book, this book right here, Book of Low Wages, right? Get a few levels on this book will help you gain more Zeni fast and easier. When you're starting off, this will be your best Zeni book for a long while until you get to the point where you have enough days in the game, and then the Book of Interest will be better than the Book of Low Wages, becoming the best Zeni book that you will have. But this will take since this scales with your days, it will take, once you get to at least close to 100 days or 100 days going up, Book of Interest will at some point it will be better, it will give you more Zeni than the Book of Low Wages if you put both of them at the same level. So yeah, since Book of Low Wages scales based on how many books you own, and you can only have a max of 15 books, see how that number 15 will not go up, it will go down, yes, if you sell a book, but that number will not go up, while your days will go up. As you play, your days will always go up. So yeah, so at some point Book of Interest will be your best as any book, but for now Book of Low Wages, so you can use that, you can level it up, it's a pretty cheap book as well. And then you wanna get your space pod and you wanna head over to planet Namek, right? So this is gonna be a pretty long beginner's guide video. So we'll make more parts of this beginner's guide. We'll explain books at some point later on. So this is for when you're spawning on Earth, right? This is your beginner's guide for if your race makes you spawn on Earth. We'll do a beginner's another a guide for when you spawn on Namek, and then we will continue the Earth guide from. So when I get to the points where people spawn on Namek, when I get to that point, right, for people that spawn on Namek, when I get to the point where they equal now with people that spawn on Earth, depending on your races, then I will say when I get to that point that okay, for people that spawn on Earth that followed my guide to get to this point, right, this is what I want you to do going forward. So this will apply to both players that spawn on Earth and players that spawn on Namek. So for players that spawn on Namek, this beginner's guide, yes, sure, it can help you for getting, if say you have a friend or you just want to know how to progress from Earth. Say you want to play on an alt account or something, right, and you get a race that spawns on Earth, then this is how this is what you can do. But for players that spawn on Earth, this is my this is what I say you should follow, right, for now. This is my guide. But anyway, this is part one of the guide. We'll make more parts. We'll get into books, what they do. We'll get into med spamming. We'll get into a whole lot of stuff, things that you can do to help you progress pretty fast. Because this guide is just for speed progress. It's not for for maxing out everything. It's not for min maxing. It is just purely for progressing fast. It's not guides for how to get your transformations or anything. Okay, I will make a video on how to get transformations as well, depending on whichever race that you have later on. This is just a guide for just gaining power, right? I will include transformations in this game that in these guides, which are universal transformations. The reason why I'm including universal transformations because every race can get them. So I'm not including race specific transformations, since race specific transformations all have their own different requirements, different things that you have to do. Others are pretty late game, others are pretty early on in the game. So it's a whole lot of stuff. So yeah, we'll get into each and every individual race after the guide. So this guide, it won't take you from, I won't do a guide to take you from, like, um the beginning all the way to end game, right? But I'll probably stop to where you can get to a point where it's like at this point you should have enough knowledge, you should know what to do. Just rinse and repeat, right? So it will get you to that point, because to get to end game, at some point you are gonna be rinsing and repeating the same things over and over and over, and essentially you will get to end game just rinsing and repeating, right? But before you can get to that stage of rinsing and repeating, this is what the guides are useful for, right? So yeah, this is basically on my guide. Yes, you can use it to get to end game, but as I said, it will take you a while. It will take you a while. Even I'm not end game yet, and yeah, it will take you a while. But yeah, this is it for part one of the video. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys have made it this far, please make sure to like and subscribe, and comment on what races you guys have. How many of y'all find this guide useful? Let me know if there's things that I've missed down in the comment sections down below, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Peace.